right, another question, this one for Governor Johnson, and of course, Governor Weld, you're welcome to jump in at any point. Governor Johnson, we now have some polls out showing you in double digits against Donald Trump and Hillary Clinton. We are well aware that the Commission on Presidential Debates requires currently 15% in the polls to be included in the debates. What do you think it's going to take to make up that difference and solidify you at the 15% or above threshold?
So I have always seen three pivotal events in this campaign, and now there has been a fourth. The fourth is Bill Weld joining this. That Bill Weld has joined this, I think, guarantees this 15%. But let's pretend for a second Bill Weld never came on the scene. The three pivotal, in my opinion, were taking the nomination. I always figured that Cruz was going to go all the way to the convention, and the fact that he dropped out 3 weeks ago, that resulted in a 5,000% increase in Google hits for Gary Johnson and the Libertarian Party. I hope I don't need to tell you all that it's Gary Johnson, it's the Libertarian Party. The Libertarian Party has to keep their phone off the hook right now. I mean, it's being bombarded. But that was the first thing that I thought needed to happen. The second thing that I think needed to happen was to actually get the nomination. There's some real question over getting the nomination, and I respect that. I'm the to say that I respect the process. I've been engaged in, I think, what has been about 15 debates among all libertarians that are running for president. But next weekend, there's a clear path, and I think that the media recognizes that there's a question mark regarding the nomination, rightfully so. But after next weekend, that gets put to bed. I hope I'm the nominee. If I am, I see this doubling down. It doubled down with Bill Weld. I see it moving forward in a big way. And the last thing is Hillary getting the nomination. Bernie is not going to get the nomination. And 75% of what Bernie has to say is very libertarian. Of course, we get to a T in the road when it comes to economics and the role of government in our lives, but I think that Bernie supporters, that a lot of Bernie supporters are all about personal choice, liberty, legalization of marijuana. Let's stop dropping bombs. Our military interventions have resulted in things being worse, not better. So that's what we've got going forward. I believe in my heart of hearts that we will be at 15% in these polls and have the opportunity to be in the presidential debates. And okay, let's present the opportunity to win the presidency. But if that falls short, being in the presidential debates means that you're representing 25 million people. And if you're representing 25 million people, regardless of who ultimately wins the presidency, they are not going to be blind to the fact that 25 million people are being represented by this libertarian candidate on stage. And believe me, they will do more than just pay lip service to what it is that the libertarian candidate will be saying. That changes the world. Bill.
Well, all that scenario, Gary, is without even allowing for the possibility that, God forbid, we should take 2 or 4 states all by our little selves, which could very well happen in either in that column of states in the West or in northern New England, not highly populated states, but we're both outdoorsmen, and we both believe in the government letting people alone, and boy, that's true. And from the Dakotas right down through New Mexico, and it's true in New Hampshire, Vermont, Maine. So there are states where we might play. But I think the short answer to the question, how do we get to 15%, I agree with Gary. I think it should happen, but there are things we got to do. And I'm going to make one of them my business, which is to raise a bunch of money. And when we've raised a bunch of money, so people will know that we're staffed out and we're going to run a professional campaign, and we may not have quite the media budget that their super PACs will, but we'll, be doing the building blocks of a real presidential campaign, then time enough to go to the the Mitt Romneys of the world or whoever and say, please give us your endorsement and give us a hand. And of the major funders who have not yet committed, I don't know if you noticed, there was an article in the New York Times today that more than half of the major Republican Party funders have not committed to come in on behalf of the Trump ticket. That leaves some room for discussion there. And these are people I've known my whole adult life in politics, hanging around the Republican National Committee with 4 races under my belt. I think that'll happen. It'll be money leading to credibility, leading to endorsements, and the pressure on whether it's the Presidential Commission or just pressure from the media to put us in the debates. I think the pressure will become unbearable, as it should. Even just the few days since Gary and I have gotten together, people are saying, my God, everyone's been pining for a third way. Here's two-term governors who can spell and add. What do you want, blood from a stone? So I think it'll come.